Well, I just thought I'd make another video because the one that I made earlier, the bus was running and it was making a lot of noise on the inside, so it was very hard to hear and understand. So now that it's nice and quiet, I'll make another video of the inside. So here we go. Here's the kitchen area. And these countertops were given to us by a good friend. He owns this property here that I'm on. And he had these left over from well, I guess they went and they salvaged some granite off of a monument, off of a building or a statue, or I don't know, somewhere, but it was exterior. Anyways, this has a fire finish on it, which makes it really textured. So what we want to do is we want to use a food grade safe epoxy to put over the top. Now we don't want it super shiny and plastic looking, so I'm probably going to have to sand it with some fine sandpaper just to dull it just a tiny bit. We want it to have that natural granite look. We have another piece right here that I can show you. Now this is shiny. So that's the sheen that we want right there. Some of the pieces were shiny and some of them were this heat treated textured look, which is fine. I like that, but in a kitchen I definitely want to seal that, whether it be with automotive clear coat or, you know, an epoxy. Preferably I'd like to use a water-based epoxy that's made for countertops. But anyways, the cabinets, the only thing that we've done to the cabinets is I took this bank of drawers, used to be where this cabinet is. We took this stove out that's right over there because we didn't want a stove. We don't use a stove too often. We mostly just want a cooktop that we can put away, and then we're going to use this little toaster oven, which has a lot of features on it, even a baking feature like an air fryer style. So this is like the first style of air fryer that you could get, and it's going to be in a cabinet that you hit this switch right here on the wall, turn it on right here. This is a speed controller. I have it turned all the way up, and then this right here is a momentary switch, backwards and forwards, so it'll allow the cabinet to come out, and then when we want to put it away, if we have company or something, or we just want to get out of the way, give us a little more floor space in the bus, and we can slide that back in. It's about 18 inches of travel, 14 to 18 inches. I can have it adjusted to where we need it, but I need to build the cabinet first and see how it handles the weight. If it handles the weight pretty good, then I can make it go 18 inches out. This is the Jackknife Couch on its side. It goes right here. This is the two new wiring harnesses that I ran from the back, and these wiring harnesses are all labeled. We wanted to label everything so that we know where everything is. I would recommend doing that, or you're going to be extremely lost and you're going to be chasing wires a lot. And I have 9 wires in that harness that we ran, and I have 5 wires in the first harness I ran to get me home from Arizona. And 3 of those wires are already hooked up to my gauges and my neutral safety switch on the back. So this is the front. I'm doing a little work to the air system right here, so I remove that chair, and this is going to be the co-captain's area, my wife. There will be a diagonal cabinet right there that holds our electronics, like DVD players and Blu-ray and all that kind of stuff. And then underneath it, in the bottom of the cabinet, there will be a 12-volt light. There will be lots of 12-volt can lights through here that we can use because sometimes you boondock. Sometimes you pull in somewhere and you don't want to fire up the generator, or you don't want to run the bus all night, you know. Sometimes you're not hooked to shore power. So it's nice to have that 12-volt system in your bus or in your RV. Pallet wall that we built. The wiring comes in 120, and then there's also 12-volt that comes through in one of these wires here. I forgot which one it is, but it's in there. Another cabinet is going to be built out to here, where this starts to transition and come down. That's a compound curve. Not going to be able to do that with the plywood ceilings that we want to put in, so I'm going to move the cabinet out to this line here. So that'll give us an extra 10 inches of room inside this cabinet. So I'm going to have a cabinet within a cabinet so that we can put a destination sign up there in front and still have lots of storage. Just all your basic stuff that's in the bus. These areas here I've had to take apart because I have gone through and found nests of wires, 120 volt and 12 volt, that are just laying in there. So we need to do some things to correct that. The walls that are going in here, I'm going to take 3/4 inch plywood and cut them down. They're going to be on edge, and I'm going to have them interlock so that it's going to create almost a lattice look. And then it's that way I'm going to alleviate the warping that happens in those thin walls, because we're going to do a wainscot. It's a batten board style, but not batten board. It's a raised panel look. So it'll have window sills through here, and then over here on the other side where you see that concrete board, there will be about that size. There will be a cabinet right there that's made to have the 50-inch TV come up out of it. We like watching TV, but we don't like to see it when it's not on. It's kind of ugly. Unless you're watching it, then it's kind of pretty. Anyways, yes, that's a wood burning stove. This is a pallet wall. A friend of mine, my brother-in-law, actually gave me a bunch of pallets, and been experimenting with a different look. So I'll move this out of the way and talk to you about the wood burning stove a little bit. It's trying to follow me. Okay. So, many people are going to ask, why a wood burning stove? Well, why not? The places that we go are cold. It's just a backup. If we're out of propane somewhere, if we're stranded somewhere, you just never know what's going to happen in life. So, yes, it's sitting on a piece of granite. It's very heavy. I built that box over the wheel well as strong as I possibly could. And this granite, we drilled some holes in it right there, and then it'll have a metal bracket, which is these 4 right here. They have a certain angle on them. They go just like that on the granite, under the granite. They go under the granite, through the granite. A piece of all thread will go through and attach in that hole in the leg. There's a hole like that in every leg that I drilled. And then of course the pipe will go up, and somewhere in that area it'll go through the roof. I don't really want to put a hole through the roof, but I don't really know how else to do it except through the window, and that's kind of ugly, and it's always going to be a problem. So we'll put one hole in the roof, I guess. That air conditioner does work, and let's see what else. I got a bunch of 12 volt can lights that are going to go in. There's one there, and one there, and there's 4 in the living room area. They'll be hooked to a dimmer switch. I have a pendant light that's going to hang from here over the bar, and then in the front of the TV cabinet that's going to be there, I'll either have the cabinet deep enough where I can put some carafes in there, some whiskey carafes, or even in the front of this cabinet when it slides out. I'm thinking, if you can see on the floor, you can see that radius I built in there. That's kind of what I was thinking, having a round corner on that cabinet with some whiskey bottles in there. I guess you could say I like whiskey. Alright, so the floors. The floors are going to be, we found a place in Kentucky, and what they do is they tear down old barns, 100, 200, 300-year-old barns, and they take that wood and they re-mill it down, not all the way, not so it's pretty and shiny, but they mill it down enough to where it's flat. They tongue and groove it, TNG, and they leave a lot of the staining from the iron nails and the bolts and the ways that things were fastened back then. Some of that wood is hundreds of years old. We're going to use that throughout the whole bus. So that's going to be a nice feature to the bus. All of the wainscoting on the walls and the ceilings we're going to do Luan, which is a thin plywood. It'll be painted gloss white, off-white, kind of like a Swiss coffee look, and it will have decorative trim running through it to match the walls. Just some ideas that we've been throwing around. These here are the tiles that we picked that we're going to use in the backsplash and on the fronts of the steps. So it'll be granite on the bottom, and then in the front of the step it'll have something like that. The sink. The sink's probably going to be our favorite part. We're putting a farmhouse sink in here. Yes, a farmhouse sink. Fired clay, and I'm going to have to do it in a way that it's nice and secure and won't break. But this granite is going to be cut here, and all this will be open to here. The sink will come down, so you'll see the front of the sink right here. That's really what we like. These cabinet doors, I'll cut those down and finish them out, and that's going to be, it's going to be really nice. So I hope that you guys like and subscribe and stay tuned, because I'm going to try to make 2 or 3 videos a week, and I'll try to get them posted as quick as I can. They yeah, so like I said, there's going to be a pendant light right there. I'm going to make the light. I make rustic lighting too. And then also we have a chandelier that's going to hang from there. And on the back of this wall there's a switch with a dimmer. So when we're not moving anywhere, we'll hook up the chandelier. There'll be a disconnect on that, and then we'll be able to have our chandelier from home in here. And it's an old antique chandelier that we restored, and I'll show you a picture of it here right about now. So, okay, well, let's move this way. So this is where you enter the bus. These are the steps that go out, and like I said, this door is going away. We're going to have a nice full steel door with 4 thin glass windows in it, and it's going to be painted black, the same as the bus. And everybody asks me, why are you going to paint the bus black? Well, black's my favorite color, and it looks so good on classic vehicles. Am I worried about the heat? No, not really, because we're in a bus and we're going to be moving all over the place, and we're not going to be in Arizona when it is 120, I'll tell you that. So, what's next? After this, here's where the washer and dryer go. Now, I did find a couple of live 120 volt wires back here, 110 volt wires back here, tucked in behind the wall, not capped, nothing. So I'm really needing to go through this bus and check everything out now, because that is not safe. And then I found this. Yeah, that's daylight. What's daylight doing coming through the roof of your bus? So I'm glad I took the carpet off the walls, because it did look like this and everything was covered. So, and actually the walls that had been taken down were all this padded pink material. I'm sure it looked good when they put it in, but it's got to go. Same thing with the carpet ceilings and the lighting. So anyways, we're going to do all the stuff in the front first from here forward. This is a 40-foot bus. We want to get all that working and in place, and then we will start working back here. Although I really got to get busy with the plumbing and the electrical back in here, because I need to do that while the walls are open. So this is called a grinder toilet. Not sure if we're going to keep it yet. It has the 2 switches right there on the wall. One is for water and one is for grinding, I guess, to grind up your stuff. We'll just call it that. And then the bedroom, this is the passenger seat. I moved it in here so it was out of my way. We haven't done anything in here yet except a little bit of demolition back there. This is where our freshwater tanks are. I have one right here and one underneath this bed. And I'm not sure exactly how much capacity they hold, but we'll figure that out and I'll make a video on it. But we are going to need to redo the plumbing in here because it too has that, I don't really remember what it's called, polybutylene, I don't know what it's called, but I know that it kind of ruptures whenever it wants to and wherever it wants to, so we want to put PEX through here. And the closets are, back up a little bit, you can see the closet. I'm not crazy about where they put them, but it's okay, it'll work. We are going to have our TV mounted to the ceiling and flipped down, so there'll be another TV back here for my wife and for me. And we have two of these closets here, and they're both the same size. And then we also have cabinetry all the way around, so we need to figure out what we're going to do with all that too. And I have a little issue with my vent, but I got a new one, I got to replace it. Alright, well, this closet, I'll show you this closet. It's kind of tight in here, sorry about that. It's pretty good size. We'll do some build outs in here, help us be a little more organized. Probably won't do too much to this right now. Our main focus is where we're actually going to be doing the living and the eating and the, you know, sitting and stuff. So that's about it. One thing we did not want to do is we did not want to redo this bus and make it look like a trailer or a camper. We wanted some nice furnishings in here and sturdy walls and solid looking walls, nice and warm and cozy. If you're stuck in the snow or something like that, you need to be comfortable in your RV, because you are going to get depressed if you're not. At least I do. I need to be able to be comfortable. I guess because I'm getting older, I feel that way. Anyways, that's about it. Alright, well, like and subscribe and definitely share. If you like this kind of content, please drop me a comment. I try real hard, and then I'm sometimes not very fast at it, but I do comment on all the comments that are left. So if you have any suggestions or any thoughts, or if I've said anything that's incorrect on this video, you can let me know. I want to make good content. There's another video where I talk about these type of switches. So if you've ever wondered about these type of switches, you can watch that video. Alright, thanks. Talk to you later. Bye.